Moments like this, why we love college football. U.S. just had too much firepower.
A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
The wait is over, and expectations are high.
I noticed that Super Bowl III trophy is looking a little lonely.
Effort! Execution!
Now, football is back.
Yes! Touchdown!
And defense is at the head of the class.
Oh my God.
2023.
Tonight, we honor
Got a kid to my brow.
what they earned.
Best to ever do it, man.
And what we're all excited for. In the place where legends live.
Oh my God.
The celebration begins.
Canton, Ohio, where the fans are and the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame as we get set to start this preseason. It's a weekend to celebrate the newest members who will be inducted on Saturday. And a brand new NFL season begins with the Jets front and center, thanks to the arrival of a future Hall of Famer. You might know his name. And the expectations are also high in Cleveland, where the Browns are hoping to return to the playoffs. It's the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame game right here on NBC. Welcome to Football Night in America, where we're so excited that football is happening tonight. I'm Maria Taylor. The whole team is here in Canton, including Jason Garrett, who was a rookie last season. And we've got a brand new rookie, a three-time Super Bowl champ, spent 13 years playing in the NFL, DB from the Patriots. Welcome to the crew. You excited?
I'm excited to be here, and the funny thing is my twin brother got his first start in this game back in 2009. He got an interception, but he didn't get into the fourth quarter, so I'm doing a little better than him. Yeah, I'm doing better.
Great to have you, man.
Appreciate it.
Do you have any rookie advice for him?
I don't. Follow Maria.
I was literally going to say, you only need to know is just listen to me, okay? That's the only rule here. Let's get into our first look of this year's 9-person Hall of Fame inductees. They'll be enshrined on Saturday, which includes the innovative offensive coach, Don Coryell, longtime Browns left tackle, Joe Thomas. And this may be one of the best defensive classes ever. 7 defenders in total. DeMarcus Ware highlighting it. And, Coach, you were with him for 7 years in Dallas.
Yeah, Maria, one of my favorite things to do as a coach, at the end of our one-on-one pass rush drill, we used to bring the team together and pick out 2 guys to go against each other. Best 2 out of 3. Tyron Smith at left tackle against DeMarcus Ware rushing him. I mean, I'll tell you what, get your popcorn ready, as they say, right? It was amazing stuff. 2 of the best players, future Hall of Famers, scratching, clawing, competing. As a coach, you just tell everybody, just watch these guys. That's the standard. When you get to the game, he's the focal point of every offensive coordinator. Don't let 94 wreck the game. They hit him every which way, tight ends, slid the line, running backs, and he still showed up. He was the ultimate, I'm telling you, the ultimate eraser. You could be playing bad defense, blow a coverage, 94, going to go sack the quarterback. Incredible player, a better guy. I'm so happy for him.
I've been there before. I've been one of those guys that blows a coverage and you look down. So I would have loved to see DeMarcus Ware coming off that edge. I wouldn't have had to cover anybody. I would have had a great career.
Exactly right.
DeMarcus Ware making coaches and players look better throughout his career. Another guy who probably did that, Darrelle Revis. You played alongside him in 2014 when you won a Super Bowl.
Another guy that made me look good, right?
Yeah.
He was a technician. He would know what the receiver was going to run 5 steps into the route. He would tell me all the time, you just got to see where he starts, how he moves. And I'm like, Revis, that's so hard to see. Like, you're not normal. But he came in 2014. He was the last piece that we needed to win my first Super Bowl there in New England. The guy would really change the game for us. He would take somebody, and we would move all other coverage and attention to the other side of the field, and he took away the other one.
Well, we went against him a number of times, and the plan was pretty simple. Find out where Revis is and throw it over there.
Go the other way.
He was something else.
Stay away from Revis Island. We're actually going to try to find Revis Island, and you guys are going to talk to him a little bit later in the show. But right now, let's head down to the field. Welcome in 3 more of the Football Night in America teammates. Jack Collinsworth, the Hall of Fame coach, Tony Dungy, he's got his jacket today, and Rodney Harrison.
He sure does, Maria. It just feels like football season down here on this turf, doesn't it? I'm joined by 2 guys that personify greatness in this game.
Hold on. Let me just clean out.
Get that thing cleaned up a little bit. How about Rondé as well? Rondé Barber going into the Hall. You, of course, coached him. What makes him great?
Well, I love Rondé because he made me look like a smart coach. tough, smart, aggressive, and people would put 3 wide receivers in. We'd put Rondé in there. He could do all the things that Derek Brooks did on the other side, and you know that's a tough position to play, covering the slot.
If you play in the slot, coach, is one of the toughest positions on a defense to play because you got to be able to deal with all those fast, athletic guys in the passing game, but you also have to play like a linebacker and show up in the run game, and he can absolutely do it all. He was an excellent blitzer. If the ball was in his vicinity, he's going to pick it off, and he also was a willing tackler.
Hey, he was exactly like you. How about this right here? Only 2 players in NFL history, at least 27 sacks, 32 picks, Rodney Harrison and Rondé Barber. Coach, I don't know about you. It's about time we get Hot Rod fitted for a gold jacket as well. What do you think?
Hall of Fame voters. 2 men in history have done this. One of them's in, both the other one in, please.
I'm right there with you, Coach. And this weekend, it's always such a great celebration for the Hall of Fame class, but on the field, 2 7-win teams from a season ago. All of a sudden, they have championship hopes, Chris Sims.
That's right, they do. And, hey, enough of all this defensive guy talk, all right? Let's talk about the stars of the show. That's right, the quarterbacks. And first, let's go to the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, he's the biggest story in the sport right now. We know that. Talking to people on the field, of course, the excitement is real around the New York Jets because of Aaron Rodgers. Got a chance to talk to Nathaniel Hackett. One thing he told me, he goes, I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers like this ever before. The energy, the attention to detail, and then the ability to relate and get around to everybody in the locker room. It's palpable out here, and you feel it with the New York Jets and the addition of Aaron Rodgers. As far as Cleveland is concerned, yes, when I talk to people there, and you see Deshaun Watson on the screen right now, they believe in Deshaun Watson. And thing I was told multiple times is don't look at last year. The man has knocked the rust off, and you're going to see the old Deshaun Watson that we used to see before he had some issues. Maria, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. The head coach of the Jets, Robert Saleh, going all gas, no break with the New York Jets in his 3rd season. He's improved the record in each of his first 2 years. We'll see what they have in store for us this season, starting with the Hall of Fame game. So it was last season that Sauce Gardner won Defensive Rookie of the Year and became just the 2nd rookie cornerback to earn first-team All-Pro honors. And earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with the Jets DB as he gave me a peek into what we can expect in 2023.
Who brought the sauce?
I brought the sauce.
Sauce Gardner.
We rolled out the red carpet for you after a star-studded rookie season.
Sauce Gardner all over the Miami Dolphins.
I love the sauce.
Okay.
How you're going to step into year 2? What can you improve on?
No, I just keep the main thing. When I first came in, it was just straight work. And I feel like I got some stuff that people can learn from me. I've always been team-oriented, but I have even more of an emphasis on that.
Okay, give it to me, team. What do you want to happen this year?
I want to win the Super Bowl. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Big shout out to Mom. She asked you an important question when you were younger. Are you going to be a follower or a leader? How does that define who you are?
A lot. Like you said, big shout out to her. I just always had a mentality to lead. And the people want to actually listen. That's the type of leader I always try to be. The type of leader that just want to bring people with me.
I know that you have tattooed on yourself empath. Describe for me more why that word means so much to you.
I always encounter people who are going through something. I don't know why. It could be God just sending people my way. And it's like, I can just relate to where they're coming from. I just love being able to give people advice and just being able to help people.
Okay, we're gonna play a game of show and tell. I show you something, you tell me about it. What about this?
Okay. And this right here, I never put one of these on. So like August 4th, I get to wear one of these for the first time.
Why was it so important for you to go back and make sure that you wear and walk across the stage?
Knowing I'm a huge inspiration to the youth. I know their parents always gonna stress to them that they need to graduate and keep school first, which is true. So I feel like I gotta be a part of that as well and just show them and be an example. Like, all right, that's Sauce. He making plays in the field, but he still made sure that he graduated.
It's going to be a huge day for Sauce tomorrow. He's getting in a car and riding to Cincinnati, just over 100 miles, so that he can walk across the stage and get his diploma. I was so impressed when sitting down with him. Again, remember, this is a 3-star recruit. He went to Cincinnati, didn't have a lot of offers. He says he's like the always underdog. And I'll be honest, I was a little shocked at how reserved he was and just thoughtful. And then, Jason, you sat down with the wide receivers, and you got a whole nother side of insights from them about who Sauce is.
Well, first off, the interview was fantastic. fantastic. He was so impressive.
Yes.
But those receivers, Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard, said, "Oh, he just had his interview voice on." That's all he was doing. He was trying to impress you, Maria.
He knows what he's doing.
He got it. He did it.
No, but we were at practice. I was so surprised how tall he is, how long he is, how athletic he is. And Randall and Lazard both said, if he gets his hands on you in the line of scrimmage, it's over. You can't get off the line of scrimmage. He's an impressive young man.
I mean, he fits that mold, right? Salah said, all gas, no brakes. And that's how this team plays. Playing against him last year, guys hustling, throwing extra blocks, defenders coming in, stripping at the ball. They just would not stop. And we used to talk, when we played a Jets team, we made sure we brought the energy, because if not, they would blow us right off the field.
Yeah, no doubt. Love what Salah's doing there. They're playing fast. They're playing the right way. Went from 32nd to 4 on defense last year. But let's face it, this whole thing is going to be about the quarterback. Sure. And we were at practice, and you could tell there was a bounce and an energy and a deep down confidence in this team saying, hey, we got number 8 on our side. We got a chance. And you know how that feels playing up there in New England with that guy, right?
I love looking at 12 when I was in New England. That's the same way they feel about 8.
All right, let me add another guy who is hiring the expectations for the Jets. An offseason addition, it's Alan Lazard, who caught up with Chris just a little bit earlier.
Alan, all this talk, right, about Aaron Rodgers, how he's changed the culture of the New York Jets, all the excitement around it. You've been around Rodgers. How has Rodgers changed with the new scenery?
To me, he hasn't changed much. You know, I think people are just able to view him through a different lens now. And he's able to kind of showcase himself a little bit more. I think he's stepping obviously into a new chapter of his career and his life right now, and he's more open to just, you know, really just letting people see that side of him. He's always been the same Aaron Rodgers to me since the first day I met him and everything, and it's just a blessing that other people are finally able to see the true Aaron Rodgers.
It is really cool. I agree with you there. You've been on some really good teams in Green Bay, right? This Jets team, how does the potential stack up to some of those teams?
Yeah, I think, you know, especially in August, everyone's got a lot of potential. Everyone looks good, especially when you're going against the same offense and defense every single day. You know, I think this team's special for sure. We have a lot of talent. Obviously, Aaron coming here, me coming here, and a lot of other guys that are added on to the team to do something special and make a great run. But, you know, we're not here to compare. We're just over here to change, you know, the history that Jets have been in the past, and to do our best, and hopefully we'll play in January and February.
Alan, thank you so much. Over to Jack Collinsworth.
All right, Myles Garrett, thinking back on your journey, your first year with the Browns, the team went 0-16. So how have you seen Cleveland football grow over your 7 years?
Really seen, you know, Cleveland grow as a fandom, as a city, you know, really envelop itself, you know, within its organization. Seen the organization grow itself with the kind of talent, kind of characters that, you know, come into this building and help change it into what it is today, and it's really become a special group of guys.
One of those big changes this offseason, bringing in defensive coordinator and Jim Schwartz. What has he brought to this defense? I see you smile.
And man, he's fire. I mean, he's like a fire impersonator. He got that swagger, that passion for the game, and just loves you know, being, you know, a kind of coach that players love playing for. And you can't find that all around the league. You know, those guys are a dying breed, and to find someone who fits your style, and, you know, the kind of guys who really want to play for a guy like that and a coach like that, you know, we have a room full of them, and we're excited.
Myles, really appreciate your time, man. Best of luck this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely love this hire. Coach Schwartz, he's a no-nonsense coach. He's going to bring in discipline, and he's going to allow these guys to play aggressive and get after the quarterback. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I was in the locker room talking to some of those defensive guys. They love him, but you know who they also love? Deshaun Watson, and he's going to have to be big for them. They want him to get them some leads so they can really tee off, and I think Deshaun's going to have a great year.
Well, they got Nick Chubb, and anytime he's in the game, they're going to have a lot of loaded boxes, but I do believe that Kevin Stefanski is going to allow him to be more prevalent in the passing game, get him out in open space, force those smaller defensive backs and those linebackers to come up and have to tackle him in open space and save that body from all that pounding.
No question. That's going to add to their offense. Now, back to you, Maria.
All right, appreciate it. Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the game, as we welcome in Mike Florio. Obviously, the running back market, value, compensation, that's been a topic of the offseason. But let's talk about some of the running backs still in limbo, starting with Jonathan Taylor at the Colts.
Well, things got ugly really quickly between Taylor and the Colts last week. Taylor wants to be traded. The Colts want it all to die down. They want it all to settle down. They want to keep him around over the long haul. The question is, will it be a long-term contract, or will they let him play out his rookie deal and then use the franchise tag for a year or two before they would let him go? That's the lingering question. If they can get him to say, I don't want to trade, I'll stay put.
Okay, a lingering question for some Jets fans here is whether or not Dalvin Cook will be joining him this season. He visited the Jets last weekend. What's the latest on where he might end up?
Well, my understanding is after this game, the Jets will have a little time. That's when talks may start with Dalvin Cook on something that he would find acceptable. He's been out there for a while waiting for the right deal. The right deal could come from the Jets once we get through this game and into the early part of next week.
All right, Dalvin Cook made it to the Pro Bowl in each of the last 4 seasons. Very impressive. But let's move on to a topic that we covered last year when we were here. We were talking about the length of the suspension for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson under the personal conduct policy after more than 20 allegations of sexual misconduct during massage therapy sessions occurred. Now, the ultimate 11-game suspension was less than what the league was seeking, Mike. News this week that could change the way similar cases are handled in the future.
Yeah, the league got less than it wanted in the Watson case because there were issues with the language in the personal conduct policy. The Watson case was unprecedented. The policy wasn't written with that in mind. Now there's language in there. For example, sexual assault through threats or coercion is now included. That wasn't there before. That's because of Watson. And also, if there's any evidence of a pattern of misconduct or planning, that can increase the penalties. Again, that's a result of the Watson case, and it gives the NFL, bottom line, the flexibility to impose a tough punishment and then have it stick through the disciplinary process.
Okay, so that's the NFL's response on Deshaun Watson's side. There are still 2 civil suits that are pending, not expected to affect his availability for this season as the Browns look to improve on that 7-10 finish from a season ago. We've got plenty more coming your way here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame as we get you set with the first preseason game of the year. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Wake up to an exciting morning right here on Today.
As Simone Biles gets set to return to competition, is her heart set on the Paris Olympics? We'll take a look.
Then join me and go inside the thrilling world of the U.S. Coast Guard.
It's all happening right here tomorrow on NBC.
All right, Al, Hoda, and Savannah, we'll see you there. But you need to know something. It's fantasy football season, and that means that Matthew Berry has you covered. His top 200 rankings and 100 facts column are available on NBCSports.com. And you can tune in to Fantasy Football Happy Hour on Peacock and the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. Matthew Berry is waiting to get his flowers from Chris Sims on the field because he's owed some from last season.
Yes, he does. That's right. The man, the myth, the legend. It all started here last year. He called it. Jalen Hurts, 1 for 1 since at NBC Sports. The pressure's on now. Now you got to go 2 for 2.
It really is. Jalen Hurts made me look good, but my ride or die this year is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's an elite wide receiver in fantasy. Just no one thinks about him. I got a trivia question for you, Chris. Right. Since week 13 of 2021, Amon-Ra's breakout week, here's the entire list of wide receivers with more receptions than the Sun God.
Right.
Justin Jefferson, that's the list. More receptions. Only Jefferson and Devontae Adams have more fantasy points. You think about this Lions offense this year, right?
Right.
No Jameson Williams for the first 6 games. TJ Hawkinson's got a lot of targets available, and we know how Jared Goff loves to play in a dome. 7 of the final 8 games for the Lions fantasy playoff time are in a dome. So, yeah, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown as a top 10 overall player, first-round pick. Amon-Ra St. Brown is my fantasy football ride or die for 2023.
All right, you got that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you heard it here. Now, can we get to some of the people here? There's this thing going on right now called the Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
I've heard
and Garrett Wilson. How do you expect them to do this year?
All right, well, Aaron Rodgers, I think, will be a great NFL quarterback for the Jets. Remember, the last 2 years he was with Nathaniel Hackett. He won the MVP with Hackett as his OC. But I don't think he'll be a great fantasy option this year. In today's fantasy football, you need to either run like a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or you need to have 40 touchdown upside.
Right.
And Rodgers doesn't have that because they run well, they play good defense.
Right.
He's my QB 17, but I will say his arrival is great news for Garrett Wilson, who last year averaged over 17 points with Joe Flacco and Mike White. And now he gets number 8 to throw to him. he's already compared him to Devontae Adams. Rodgers has. So I have Garrett Wilson as a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. Monster year coming for Garrett Wilson.
All right, there you have it. Matthew Berry, he's back. It's football season. Fantasy football is back. Maria, back to you.
Yeah, and I trust Matthew Berry. They trust Garrett Wilson. He's at the rookie record for catches and receiving yards, but we weren't on the field with him 2 times last year. That was you. Did he break your ankles? Are you okay?
No, it got close. Okay. Now, you know, whenever you hear Aaron Rodgers compare somebody to Devontae Adams, look at the quickness. In and out his breaks. He's going against an old man right here, but the old man stays up and he gets him to the ground.
They highlighted you right there.
That is
you made
great
the tackle.
Composure.
Absolutely,
That's great composure.
no doubt.
I
The
got
balance,
a little shaky, though. It got shaky.
The way you had to use your pinky finger to hold on to him, though, like, I was praying for you in the highlight. Let's stick with the offense, though, and turn our attention to this year's Hall of Famers. Jason, I know you're going to love this name. Don Coryell is headed to the Hall of Fame, former head coach of the Cardinals and the Chargers.
Yeah, Maria, Don Coryell, along with Sid Gilman and Bill Walsh, these guys are the fathers of the modern passing game. And Walsh's West Coast offense was about reading things down to up and the run after the catch. Coryell was all about throwing the ball down the field, attacking coverages, attacking all areas of the field. They used the digit system, precision routes, timing of the quarterback. In the late 70s and the early 80s, the Chargers offense, they changed the game. Fouts was throwing for 4,000 yards. He had Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner, John Jefferson, all these amazing Hall of Fame players. And it wasn't just the players, the legacy with the coaches. John Madden was on his coaching staff at San Diego State. Joe Gibbs takes the offense to Washington, wins 3 Super Bowls. It was our offense in Dallas. Norv Turner, Ernie Zampese, 3 Super Bowls. So this guy was incredibly impactful on the history of football, and it's so great for him and for his family. Yeah. It's a tremendous recognition. Really happy for them.
Yeah, the fingerprints of the Air Coryell offense all over today's modern NFL. But let's continue to meet the inductees. Jack Collinsworth, who you got?
Maria, let's talk a little defense here. We have a legendary Bengal going into the Hall of Fame. He is Ken Riley, voted All-Pro even in his 15th and final season, known as one of the smartest defenders in his era. We still see Ken Riley jerseys all over Cincinnati.
College quarterback at Florida A&M. They switched him to defense. He goes to right corner. He's covering Paul Warfield, Cliff Branch, John Stallworth, all those guys on the left side, and gets 65 interceptions. Very smart guy. I tried to hire him on my first step at Tampa. He turned me down to coach's alma mater.
Who would turn you down? How about Chuck Howley, Super Bowl champion linebacker with the Cowboys, also named MVP of Super Bowl V, which Dallas lost, only player ever to win MVP of a losing team.
I'm telling you, Jack, I would have loved to have him in our Buccaneer linebacker group. He was just like Derek Brooks and those guys. Yes, he could blitz and get after the passer, but he played the whole field, sideline to sideline, go deep, intercept passes. He was an athletic linebacker who was ahead of his time.
He is not the only linebacker in this year's class. Zach Thomas, he went from a 5th-round pick to the Hall of Fame. Rodney, what is it about you 5th-rounders, man?
One of my favorite players, man, and you see this little small dude in the middle of the defense like Coach talked about, going from sideline to sideline, making plays, but he also was extremely smart. You heard him barking out the offensive calls, alert to draw, alert to screen, reverse, and most of the time he was right, but also talking to a couple of his teammates, they talked about his love of the game, the passion and effort. Nobody played with more effort. And then there he is destroying Chris Sims. Yeah, Jack, let's go, baby.
Well, you talk about being a smart player. Peyton Manning, anytime we played the Dolphins, it was an extra hour meeting for the receivers because Peyton had to change all the code words, all the hand signals. He said, Zach knows our plays.
And he probably did. I'll tell you what, we got to put a little shine on our legendary leader of Sunday Night Football. How about Fred Gaudelli, the recipient of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's Pete Rozelle Award, the executive producer of Sunday Night Football.
That was a young Fred.
It sure was. Continues to oversee NBC Sports NFL coverage. And I'll tell you what, if there was a book on producing sports, the best chapters would be written by that man.
Congratulations,
right there.
Fred. The best to ever do
Gaudelli,
it.
The best to ever do it.
Oh, we are so excited to welcome the Big Ten to NBC this fall. Big Ten Saturday night, it begins September 2nd. It's a day that's going to feature Penn State, Notre Dame, and Michigan across NBC and Peacock. I know you don't want to miss it. I'll be there with you. It's going to be great. All right, let's get back to the pro ranks. Jets and Browns fans will watch some of their franchise's all-time greats get enshrined into the Hall of Fame on Saturday, which includes a Big Ten alum. Joe Thomas, the Wisconsin Badger, is being enshrined. But Chris, we'll come back to Joe Thomas. Let's start with Joe Klecko.
We got to talk about Joe Klecko, okay? He was overlooked through his career. He was on the New York Sack Exchange, and he had guys like Mark Gastineau. But see that guy right there? Phil Simms always used to tell me, oh, hey, Christopher, you don't know about Joe Klecko. Oh, my gosh, he was unbelievable. And he was unbelievable. Only defensive lineman ever to go to the Pro Bowl at all positions on the defensive line. Phenomenal player.
11 seasons is exactly how long he played in the NFL. Let's start, and he played with the Jets. Let's move on to Joe Thomas, because you kind of overlapped a little bit with his career, Devin.
I was in the NFL with Joe Thomas, and you would love it because Wednesday morning we would come in, start the week off, and Bill would ask questions to guys. And he would go, who's the left tackle? Everyone knew it was Joe Thomas. As that guy was starting to say Joe, he would cut him off and go, yes, that is Joe Thomas. And you know one thing? He's going to be there. And he would read off 9,000, then 10,000 consecutive starts at left tackle. Every single play, every game, he would be there, and he would be there dominating.
Evan, I have a lot of respect for Joe Thomas because it's tough being a great player playing on a bad team. And he was very loyal to the Browns. He never wanted to leave in free agency, and he never wanted to leave via trade.
I don't think you really know anything about that because you flexing on us with your Super Bowl ring. So you can calm down a little bit. You'll
I'm talking about
that,
we don't remember those Charger days.
Exactly. Let's try to go on the field now and switch over a little bit what we're talking about from offense to defense, and hopefully we get a chance to take a look at some of the defensive line players that we're going to see today, including Quinnen Williams of the Jets. Or not see today, but see this season.
He's awesome football player. Best player on the Jets defense. Got a lot of money and cash in his pocket right now. And with this defensive scheme that Robert Saleh runs, they don't want to blitz. He is a disruptor. He's a lot like Warren Sapp was for Coach Tony Dungy. This defense goes as far as Quinnen Williams goes.
And the Cleveland defensive line, Myles Garrett, is excited. He's happy to have Jim Schwartz here because of the style they play, turn him loose, rush the passer, but he also thinks they're going to have some more leads because of Deshaun Watson and what the offense is going to do. He wants to rush the passer in the fourth quarter.
Coach, I love the other guys. Darius Smith, he plays both the run and pass with enthusiasm, and he's a guy that you can move in the inside, and he can go against bigger, slower guards, but you can also keep him on the outside where he's going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities because of the presence of Myles Garrett on the other side.
All right, guys, we've been down here on the field, but you also had some time a little bit earlier before warm-up started. Devin, what have you noticed about these two teams?
You know, it was really cool. I got to talk to Jordan Whitehead, a safety for the New York Jets, and I asked him, hey, how's that guy Tony Adams? I've been reading about him. He said he is killing camp. He said, you know what? He's not even playing tonight. He's just been doing his thing at camp, and he's a guy I'm excited to watch in that secondary this year.
And what I got from both sides is just the excitement and the energy level that the new quarterbacks have brought. I think both teams feeling a sense of confidence and feeling like I'm going to play better because my quarterback is going to be better.
I had the opportunity, my first opportunity to meet Sauce Gardner, and I felt like this. He was like 4 inches taller than me. I have not seen a corner that big, that long, and just how special he is. Just his length, it was just incredible.
My son, Jalen, that's the only guy he wanted to meet, and so we got a chance to meet him, and it did. It reminded me of Mel Blount. Just that big corner that you say, wow, how are they going to get away from him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we corralled him when he came right out of the locker room and got him straight to Jalen so he could meet him. All right, our two quarterbacks found a ball, so that means they must want to talk about a QB. Chris, Jason?
Hey, Simsy, 50 years ago, Joe Willie Namath is the quarterback of the Jets. Nobody was cooler, and nobody threw it any better. He was a classic
Broadway Joe.
Pocket passer, quick release, nice high finish right there. Hey, now, fast forward 50 years, they got another Hall of Fame quarterback playing for him. The big thing about Namath is you think about Joe Montana, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino in Western Pennsylvania growing up. Hard to believe that those guys didn't think about throwing the ball like Namath.
Right.
Now Aaron Rodgers is here. He's got a whole generation of guys trying to throw it like him. Doing it in a different way, but having the same influence.
Totally different guy. Reinvented the game, Aaron Rodgers. Your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. And what you see from Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers is the jump off. All these sidearm throws. You'll see it in highlights all year. Back foot. Why does he do it? Hey, screens, the way offenses have evolved as far as pick plays, got to get out of your hand. And you know, as a coach, with all these great pass rushers, the pocket ain't clean all the time. So you got to be able to throw from different arm angles, and that's where Rodgers
It used to be in the pocket, down the field. Now it's get the ball out of your hand quicker. It's almost like playing shortstop or second base. Nobody does it better than Rodgers.
No doubt.
All right, we can't wait to see Rodgers on the field this season. I know all Jets fans can't wait either, but tonight you're going to get a chance to take in Zach Wilson, which, by the way, guys, it's his 24th birthday, and Aaron Rodgers took to Instagram to wish his backup QB a happy birthday, using a little Captain America, I guess, CGI there. So happy birthday to the little bro, Zach Wilson, who we're going to see here playing tonight. A lot of Hall of Famers here on the sidelines, but how about this? The Commissioner, Roger Goodell, in the building and signing autographs, spending time with the fans. Plenty more coming on our coverage of the Hall of Fame game 2023.
This is Jim Brown, the most devastating ball carrier in the history of football.
Jimmy Brown just sticks his head down and powers straight forward.
He goes to 3 to 2. He's in the end zone. Score, Cleveland.
Brown staggers, keeps on his feet.
I tell you, how did this stop this going? Touchdown, Jimmy Brown.
And into the end zone for his 5th touchdown of the day. There's no stopping Jim Brown on an effort like this.
Jim Brown, simply put, one of the greatest ever. And today, at a memorial service here in Canton, the NFL and Browns and Jets celebrated the life and legacy of the Hall of Fame running back who died in May at the age of 87. The Brown won 4 MVPs in his 9 NFL seasons, all with Cleveland, and passionately pursued civil rights advocacy for most of his post-football life. An incredible celebration of life of an NFL legend as we continue to celebrate the beginning of the football season with fans.
Look at that.
Donning their favorite jerseys, Jason.
None better than that one. Revis Island, how about that?
Yes, stay away from that.
Throw it the other way.
Joe Thomas right there.
It's the silencer right there.
Man. Oh, there's your guy, JG.
America's team.
My guy right there.
Every time Jason sees Ware in 94, his heart rate just goes down. He feels better. Oh, look at him, DeMarcus Ware. He's actually getting ready to sing the national anthem. Believe it or not, a man of very many talents. But Jason, you got to coach him during your prime, his prime in Dallas. Your experience with him was like what?
Don't be deceived by the exterior. The $1 million smile, he's singing the anthem. Line 1 with DeMarcus Ware is toughness. We'll take you back to 2009. We're 8-5. New Orleans 13-0. We got him on a nationally televised game on Saturday night. We lose to the Chargers at our place 6 days before. DeMarcus Ware taken off on a stretcher with a neck injury. Doesn't practice all week long. He wakes up on Saturday morning. He knows it's a must-win game. It was like Lazarus. He plays, and you know the rest of the story. 2 strip sacks to Drew Brees. Last drive of the game, he knocks the ball out one more time. He's something else. So it's all about toughness. Again, an incredible player. So happy for him.
Yeah, sounds like an incredible person just all around. Having him in the locker room meant so much to you.
Love him to death.
I mean, we've got plenty of connections here with football night in this year's class, including Rondé Barber, who's with his former coach and teammate right now.
And Rondé, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. But I love you because you were willing to do whatever we asked you to do. You knew you could cover people, but what were you thinking when we had you in those inside run drills and we had guards and tackles pulling to block you?
I knew I was in trouble when y'all sent me to the linebacker room to figure out run fits. But I loved it. It got me on the field, first of all, and you know this. I had a rough start to my career, but the more I could do, the better my career advanced, and I was willing to do it. I'm so honored, Tony, to be on this field with you, with this gold jacket I'm about to get.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
All right, now you got to slum it with me for a second, all right? All right, just me, all right? But, no, seriously, when you were playing, like you just talked about, you took a third linebacker off the field. Nickel defense, everybody does it now. Everybody's looking for Rondé Barber. right? Did you realize at the time you were kind of revolutionizing the game?
Absolutely not. I literally was just trying to get on the field. And look, I think I'm a testament to starting slow but still finding a way to make yourself relevant. And when I got the opportunity, I took advantage of it and ran with it. And revolutionizing, I mean, Tony did that in Pittsburgh. We just evolved it a little bit and made my position much more relevant in the years to come. I'm proud to wear that mantle for sure, but it was a lot of other people too that got me.
You're the man, Rondé.
I had to come over here and give you the twin love because I had to let you know, me and my brother growing up, watching you and Tiki, we were like, that's what we want to do. We want to go to school together. We want to be in the NFL. So congratulations and thank you, man. You really guided our career and what we wanted to do watching you and your brother.
Did you read the books?
We read the book. My mom said, y'all need to make sure you make a children's book like they did. So we appreciate you,
man. Thank you, man. Much love.
Thank you.
I love it. Every moment like that. That's what the Hall of Fame game is all about, paying respect and honoring our legends. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Darrelle Revis because he made a habit of eliminating one side of the field, which is why he has the name of Revis Island. But take a look at some of the names he shut down in 2009. It includes a pair of Hall of Fame receivers, Randy Moss and Terrell Owens, who he held both under 35 yards twice during a single season. Let's hear from him. He's with Rodney and Devin.
It is an honor to be here with Darrelle Revis. My boy Ty Law, former teammate and Hall of Famer, told me when you first came in the league, he said, watch out for Darrelle Revis. He's going to be the best cornerback in the league, and he's going to the Hall of Fame. What was your relationship like with Ty, and how did he impact your career?
You know, my relationship with Ty is him, you know, he was like the big brother to me. I used to train with him in my early in my career. And Ty was just, you know, somebody you can go to and always, you know, get advice from. He was always open. And, you know, we from Aliquippa, we from Quiptown, and, you know, we got a lot of pride. So Ty would be like, boy, you better get out there and start covering. So, you know, for me, man, it's just a pride thing, and I appreciate, you know, Ty Law for always, you know, being a big brother to me and always, you know, any questions I had to ask him, man, he was always there for advice.
Yeah, man, y'all made that 24 real special in New England, man. And I know it makes Jets fans sick, but you had to come to New England and get that Super Bowl, and that's what it's all about.
You had to come to New England to get this. Yeah, I have one. Rodney. Rodney and Devin, I have one, and you was a big part of that as well. I love playing with you, man. You're one of the best safeties I ever played with. We had a great time. We had great chemistry when we played, practice, and then we took it into the game. So, yeah, I'm happy to be a part of Super Bowl 49. You know that.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
For real?
Well, check it out. Defense, the head of the class here in 2023 with the inductees. 7 of the 9 guys that are going in are from the defensive side. Hey, Darrelle Revis, I need him to look at this video. Show him.
Uh-oh.
Make sure he's looking. Wait.
Don't show him that one.
Show it to him.
Wow.
Go that way.
Come on, Jason Garrett. Are you kidding me?
That was a bad night. 24. Come on now. Throw it the other way.
Still shaking his head. Feeling still hurt on that. All right, coming up, we've got the Jets, we've got the Browns as we look to kick off this preseason with the Hall of Fame game here in Canton, Ohio.
Welcome to New York, Aaron.
Can't say I haven't been dreaming about this. You start to take your mind to all the different things that a new place has to offer. I believe in the direction, and I want to be a part of a team that can win it all. The Green Bay Pack run is over now. I'm excited about the new adventure here in New York.
What is happening?
He's out there.
He's at Madison Square Garden. He's living a New York life.
I am having an absolute blast. Everything's new and exciting and fun. It's been a dream, for sure. I grew up watching old VHS tapes of the Super Bowls, so obviously I know about Broadway Joe. Been a while since then.
What's going on? Just...
I noticed that Super Bowl III trophy is looking a little lonely. Deep down, a lot of excitement, a lot of gratitude for the opportunity now to continue playing and play for an iconic franchise again.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to be like, I did it my way, okay? Taylor Swift concert, going to Knicks games, you get it, right?
I like that one. I like that.
Signing autographs. Okay, the expectation expectations are now high for the Jets, but I just want to be the first to tell you some things about Jets history. You ready? Today is the first game on NBC since Thanksgiving in 2012, which was the what?
Butt fumble. I was there, yes.
They haven't made the playoffs since the 2010 season. That's the longest active drought in the NFL, and it's been 2 decades since their last AFC East title, which was in 2002, when Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson were exactly 2 years old. And their only Super Bowl win came back in January 1969, 6 months before Neil Armstrong became the first man on the moon. I'm sorry, Jets fans, but we had to do it because everyone's so excited about this season. But the question is, how do you think the Aaron Rodgers experiment is going to work out this year, Coach?
Maria, I'm betting on him. This is one of the all-time great players. I don't think he's the same player that he was 5 years ago, but he still has plenty left. They're going to create a good environment for him. They're going to play good defense. He has his offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, his system. Cobb and Lazard are here, his receivers. He's got Garrett Wilson. Okay, the issue, though, is there are going to be some growing pains early. You know it as well as I do. A lot of pointing, a lot of hand signals, a lot of nods, a lot of looks to his receivers. It's going to take some time to get them all on the same page. And this schedule early on in the year, it's rough. It's Buffalo, it's New England, it's Kansas City, it's Dallas. A lot of really good football teams.
No question about that. They got some obstacles early they got to overcome. We know that. I think the thing I'm looking about with Rodgers is just that, as I talked about earlier, this has re-energized him as a football player. All the new pieces, the New York media, being in New York City, and we've never seen Aaron Rodgers do what he did a few weeks ago with Nathaniel Hackett and the Sean Payton stuff, just being extremely adamant about backing up his guy. Very exciting. Now, he's aggressive there. I want to see him be a little more aggressive on the field, and then I think this Jets offense has big-time potential.
There's no question. This team is going to be better. When we played this team last year, we would say, just stay patient. Eventually, the quarterback will lose the game for them. That's not going to happen this year. You don't want Aaron Rodgers with the ball in his hands. 2 minutes left. No defense wants to see that. So I think this team will definitely be better this year.
All right, let's get it over to Jack, Tony, and Rodney for their takes on the Jets.
Maria, it sounds like everybody over there is all in on this experiment. The honeymoon phase, it has been smooth, so we understand. But what could cause this plan to come up short of expectations?
I just listened to Devin McCourty, and he talked about Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter. Great quarterbacks are able to finish in the fourth quarter, and we've seen Aaron Rodgers not able to finish those drives in the fourth quarter. And I think the real test for Aaron Rodgers will be if they lose a couple games, if he throws 2 or 3 interceptions, will he still have that same humility? Will he have that same positive attitude? And just period.
Talking to the Jets coaches and their receivers before the game, and they're all upbeat. Talking to Aaron, he was really excited and loose, and I haven't seen him like this. But here's my question. Timing. He's such a timing quarterback. I saw this with Tom Brady a couple of years ago. It took 6 or 8 weeks to kind of get that groove going, and I don't think they have that luxury of having a 6-week period of getting it together this year.
Also, when you watch him, and we've watched him closely, he needs a great defense. He needs a run game, so he needs help. It just no longer is it just Aaron Rodgers able to do his thing.
And we have seen this 17-game schedule force the backup quarterback into action in certain moments, too. Tonight we'll figure out if Zach Wilson's learned any new tricks. Maria, back over to you.
Yeah, Jack, look, we're inching closer and closer to kickoff, the beginning of preseason. That means we kind of need to get hype, and there's only one man trust to do that. It's actually Devin. Watch this.
What we got?
One time. Feel this. This energy right here. We won't get many times like this. Tonight, Sunday Night Football, that's when stars are born. That's when people come alive. Everybody watching. Let's show y'all grandma what you can do tonight. 1, 2, 3.
That's okay right there. Should I get that call right now? Sunday Night Football. We got the Jets. We got the Browns. Everybody watching. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
That's how we do it. That's what we gonna do. We gonna dominate. We don't know what the Jets are gonna do. We don't know what the Browns are gonna do. But we gonna dominate every time we come on Football Night in America. Okay, every Sunday night this season. Thank you so much for joining us for our preseason show for the Hall of Fame game. But guess what? The Jets, the Browns, they're in the locker room now. They're getting set to come back out. The Hall of Fame class of 2023 will be introduced to the crowd here in Canton. Our coverage of Pro Football Hall of Fame game will continue. The celebration of a brand new season continues right here in the Hall of Fame Village. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, football is about to start this season.